I see the world so weirdly in comparison to other people, and I have to remember that other people was who I used to be before this happened. But to me, it's so real. I think this place has like a code. I just think it's made up. My story to do with UFOs and aliens, I've had maybe 6 or 7 major experiences. When I was about 8, I had a dream. Absolutely everyone in my house was asleep, and I hopped out of my room and went to my front door. I undid the deadbolt with the key and unlocked the door, and there's 3 small grey guys at the door, and I kind of realised what was happening, ran to my room, shut the door, because they're only about 3 foot tall or whatever and really skinny. I could hold the door against them, and I turned around, and at my window there was another 5 of them at the window just zoning on me, and then everything went black. Then I woke up in the morning and I had I can show you the scars. Just in a row, you still see the scars. They were 2 kind of tubes full of blood and crap that they weren't a boil. I've had the boils before and they're like a big dome. These were like tubes that came out of my skin. I don't know, about that far. A nurse years later told me they looked like laser biopsy scars, but I mean, you don't know if you have like a trance-like dream. You don't really know if it's real or not.
Honestly, for the kinds of things he's gone through, everyone could learn a lot from him about happiness, even though he's been through so much hardship, And it's not just hardship, it's his character before and after has always just been about, just being chill. And that brings a lot of warmth to all his friends. That's how I would describe Ben.
When I first met Ben, I didn't know he had schizophrenia, whatsoever. He told me, about his stories and episodes and stuff, and he's still a normal dude. Normal as anyone else. He's just got a condition.
I know I'm schizophrenic. I've researched it and talked to a lot of doctors, and I have to be on medication my whole life. I know I am. I know, the psychotic episodes never left me, and the way of thinking has never left me. But you're always just what's real and what's not, and when the most real experience of your entire life, none of it's meant to be real, and what you feel you were born for, and how everyone else around you has responded over the years, and who you think you are. You live a life in limbo. I retaught myself reality for the first year and a half. I completely shut down after 3 months. Like a child, had to observe how people had conversations from a capable guy. I had to relearn how to have a conversation. That took me 1.5 to 2 years. I was a good cook, used to work as a cook, had to relearn cooking. And I still can't remember who I was before the episode, but I relearned how to be a person again. I live in a few worlds, and my whole life I have to question. And
he told me about his experiences, and it was basically going on a big journey, and spiritually, who's to say that didn't happen? Who's to say that he didn't make all those connections? Because I remember there being certain people along that journey that he was helping, and he was helping himself, and it was all about the earth, and we aren't doing very nice things to it, so, and we don't know. I mean, a doctor isn't going to tell you that, oh yeah, that was a real experience. They're just going to think, oh, you're a bit mad. So
if I looked back when my mind was starting to think a bit differently and stuff, I just went walking a lot for a few months, and I wasn't really in this world or really a part of it, and to me it felt like what I've been born for and who I was, and I cared so much about this place. I just wanted to fix it with my mind, and I wanted people to think a little differently so humanity would live on.
Growing up with Ben, being the youngest, I've always wanted to be like my oldest brother. You know, he was, to me, the dude, the guy, you know. He was just good at everything. He was just the guy you wanted to be, really. Now I don't consider him any different. He's still my brother, and I still love him, and he's got more love to give than anyone that I know, really.
Most people love me, but it's like I don't know how seriously they take me when I talk about this stuff, and I don't really often.
Man, I don't think you're schizophrenic. I think you've evolved yourself into a spiritual being where doctors will class you as this type of diagnosis. But you're something that nobody's ever seen before in this world, and you know, you should not class yourself as schizophrenic or anything like that, because you go to work full time, you look after your friends, you don't have a bad drug habit, you know. Since the time where I caught up with him, where he thought he was really bad, I've been telling him since, like, oi, there's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect the way you are. Like, don't listen to that, don't listen to anybody else. You know, this world is a journey, and you have to reach the end of the journey to find who you are. You can't tell while you're going through the journey.
A moment for Ben was meeting a whole bunch of people that he'd never met before, and started talking about his condition, but just as part of conversation. That to me seems like, oh, why would you open up like that in front of random people? But it just blew me away that everyone was just like, oh, well, I've got this and I've got that, and like all of a sudden in a group of strangers they're all talking about their mental conditions. The fact that he's so open with everyone that he meets is sort of refreshing and sort of brings out the best in people. Yeah.
I hate the word because it's cheesy, but I'm empathic. Like I can look at people and understand them quite well because I've been the lowest of the low and to me the highest of the high, and I kind of understand the spectrum of human nature. I can't say I don't judge, but I judge less. It's, you know, it's like I understand a disability, I understand how it works, I understand a disability is not you, it's just what you have to deal with, and I understand if you have a disability you're fine and you're not less than what you are. I think I'm overall a good person and good for the people in my life.
After you started the documentary, I was thinking about Ben, and I was thinking that he's like Humpty Dumpty, and listening to Ben talk about how he put himself back together after getting schizophrenia, it's like he's Humpty Dumpty, but he hasn't put himself back together the same way. You know, there's like cracks now in him, but he's still, what he has is still really special.